Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be revisiting Child's Play 2019. This is a film that came out back in June. It just came out on digital. You can purchase it physically, you can purchase it on Blu-ray or DVD next week. I will be getting it on Blu-ray and DVD next week. I think it's next week. I will be getting it on DVD and Blu-ray hopefully next week, and I will do an unboxing and all that for you guys of it. But today we'll do a revisiting. Today we'll be doing a revisiting of Child's Play 2019. I just rented it, as I said. I just saw it digitally. I rented it digitally because I will be buying it on Blu-ray and DVDs. I didn't see no need buying it digitally if I'm gonna get it physically. You know what I mean? But on to the video. For Child's Play 2019, man, I have so many positives with this film. So many. Before I go any further in the video, you could be a fan of the classic Chucky. You could be a fan of the remake. I'm a fan of both. I'm a fan of both. I'm a supporter of both. Now, the biggest positives for 2019 is the story. I love the story. More horror remakes need to do this. They need to take notes because it almost takes the original story, throws it out the window, and puts a new story, a new take, a new spin, by keeping core elements. Which I'll be getting into later and I will touch upon later, but the one core thing is this score. That's one of the core things, is that score. Oh my god, like that score is amazing, which I would get into later. But the story, essentially, Andy, Chucky. If you've seen the original, you basically get the premise. But story, I love the story. I love how unique and original it is. And people complain about the story. I'm like, but if we got something that's similar to the original, you would still be complaining. So you really can't please either side of the coin. You just kind of have to go with what people expect them to accept. Which made no sense what I said, but Child's Play 2019, the story's awesome. The Plaza, I butcher her first name, but her name's Plaza. She played Andy's mother. She did a great job. Andrew Bateman, I'm pretty sure, he played Andy. He did a good job. I forgot the guy who played Detective Norris, but he did a good job. A lot of people complained about him. Why? I thought he was a good Detective Norris. Again, different. And this stands out from the original. It stands out from the original. And I've said it so many times, and will stick by it. If you do a horror remake, a reimagining, you need to do it differently. Take the original story, put it to the side, and you need to keep the core elements. And that's what Child's Play 2019 does. I think all the casting, all the actors and actresses are perfect. The story is amazing. All of it's perfect. The kills are very creative, very original. The gore is amazing in this. The gore is really good. One of the goriest Child's Play films, Chucky films. One of the goriest out of all of them. Best kills. And it's shot very well. The cinematography is really good. One of my favorite scenes where Chucky and Andy's playing chess. Really loved that scene, the way it was shot, like the camera angles, really good. And even though this was my second time seeing it, because obviously it came out in June and it just came out digital this week, it felt like I was watching it for the first time. Like, I'm always going to have nostalgia for this film. This was my first Chucky film that I got to see in the theaters. Yes, it's a remake. Yes, the original people are not behind it, but it's the first one I got to see in theaters. So I'm always going to praise it. I'm always going to have nostalgia for it. I'm always going to have love for it. I think the kills are really good. Mark Hamill, I have to give it up for the man, Mark Hamill. He is so great at voice acting, and he's just great as an actor in general. He's just so great as the actor in general, and he did a good job as Chucky. You know, he didn't copy what Brad did. He didn't copy what we know of Chucky. He did his own spin, doing his own thing. He did his version. He did his version while again staying true to what the character is, and while keeping and then keeping that vibe there, but doing you. That's what Mark Hamill did, and I love that Mark Hamill did that, because Mark Hamill was, Mark Hamill's Chucky is more childlike, and it fits the film. I love that, and there's even times where you feel bad for Chucky. Like, you start to feel for Chucky. There's one scene where Chucky has to look up a trail on his face, and you just want to hug Chucky, buddy. That's what you want to do. You just want to hug him because he has that look of betrayal, and you feel for Chucky. Like, you never thought in a million years you never thought in a million years you would actually care for Chucky and want to hug him. I never thought I would want to hug Chucky. But in Child's Play 2019, yes, I wanted to hug that doll. I really did. Man, there's just so many good positives. The Zig Massacre, I love that scene, and the teddy bears. Man, I wish there was more scenes with the teddy bears. That's one negative. I only have one negative, and that one negative is the Zig Massacre, the Zig Mart Massacre. I wish that scene was extended a little bit more, specifically with those bears. Those bears was awesome. Child's Play 2019, awesome story, awesome cast, and it just keeps the legacy of Chucky alive. And again, this franchise, the Chucky franchise, has been one of those to be different from everyone else. And what makes it different, number one, for the longest time, it was one of the franchises that was not remade. Now it's remade, but now it's the only franchise at this moment that I can think of that has two running franchises. You got the original that's been going since 1988, that I grew up on. Then you got the new franchise that just started in 2019, this year. So I find that pretty cool. Chucky for the longest time went out. He didn't have a remake for the longest time. Now he does. But now you got two versions of the character. I like that idea. It's not bad of an idea. And it makes Chucky stand out from Michael, Freddy. Like, it makes him stand out even more, in my opinion. And one of my favorite kills is when the nasty apartment manager, maintenance man, gets killed. Love that scene. One of my other favorite kills is when Andy's stepfather gets killed in the watermelon patch. That scene was hilarious. But as well, like, when you find out what Andy's stepfather is, you want him to die. Love that scene, because you want him to die. I remember sitting in the theaters back in June, me and everyone else cheering for that guy to die. Because he had a whole, he was supposed to be with Andy's mom, but he had his whole other life with 2 kids and all this, and like, yeah, you need to die. The most gruesome way, you need to die. You need to die, big fella. You need to die. And he did, in the most awesome way possible. And, so we talked about the story, the acting, and all that. 2 things I haven't talked about. We're going to go ahead and get into that. Well, 3 things, actually. But we'll go into those 3 things at the moment. And there's a few other small things. The score. The score, it's amazing. I remember before the film came out, they released the soundtrack. I remember listening to that soundtrack for the entire day. And My Buddy's song, that song is so catchy. I love the score. The guy's name who did the score was Bear. I would love to see Bear do a score with John Carpenter for Halloween. That'd be so awesome. Because, Bear, he does the Walking Dead score, and he did a phenomenal job with the Child's Play score. I would love to see what he does with if he got the role, if he got the job of doing a score for one of the Halloween films, I'd be more than glad, because I feel like he'd be a good match. So the Child's Play 2019 score, it's awesome. Bear did a phenomenal job. Bear, I'm pretty sure that's his first or last name. He needs more recognition in the horror community. He just needs more recognition, he just needs more recognition. Go listen to the Child's Play 2019 score. Go listen to that score. I love that score. Chucky's look. Now, Chucky's look, it's in the middle. Like, it doesn't bother me, but this time watching it, there's some scenes where it bothered me, because again, it's on, on TV. It's not on like 150-inch or something, flat screen in the theater. So you notice more things. I'm still in the middle about Chucky's look. Even when they announced and they showed us what Chucky would look like, still was in the middle. Still am to this day. Chucky's look, still in the middle. But because there's some scenes where it looks really good. I really did like his look. But then there's some scenes where you're going like, they could have did better. Then there's some scenes where you're going, okay, well, it's not ugly, but it's not the worst thing ever. Looks better than CGI Chucky and Curse, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to sit here and nitpick and pry about Chucky's look in Child's Play 2019. I'm not going to do that because his look doesn't bother me that bad. I just think they should spend more time on it. Whether that be, would have mean, delaying the film to next June. But I think they should spend more time on the look of Chucky. But I do applaud the people behind him making Chucky, because they did a great job. Like, there's a video of how they made him. It's a really interesting video. I recommend you go check that video out. And the team seemed very humble. So I do give them a round of applause for that. And they came up with different looks. Like I think even like one of the designs was more closer to the original. Maybe that's what they should have did, was made more of a closer design to the original by tweaking some things. The red eyes. Love the red eyes. To me, I think now this is my opinion though. With a second watch, when like Buddy, Chucky, when he's normal, I think they should have made his eyes a little bit more bluer. Maybe like Child's Play 2 type of blue, like a little bit more bluer. And again, in the first Child's Play, the original, his eyes was pretty blue. I think they should have made his eyes a little bit more bluer when he was in, I guess, nice mode, sweet mode. But I do like the red eyes when he turns evil. I do like his red eyes. And again, I like it because it's different, stands out. The puppeteering, I thought the puppeteering was pretty good. The animatronics, they could have did better on the animatronics, but the puppeteering was really good. They could have did a little better with the animatronics, but the puppeteering was good. There wasn't really that much CGI. Like, the only CGI I noticed, but it didn't stick out like a sore thumb. The only CGI was really like his feet, or that one scene where he's dragging the knife, or like jumps out. There was some CGI parts, but it was never really eyesore. Now, they could have touched up on some of the CGI, but it's not that bad. As a whole, Child's Play 2019, awesome score, awesome kills, creative kills, awesome cast, awesome acting. Mark Hamill did a phenomenal job. You feel for Chucky. You want to hug Chucky. As all of that, as a whole, is Child's Play 2019 a watch? Is it worth going out and buying it on Blu-ray next week? I think that's when it comes out on Blu-ray. Is it worth that? Is it worth renting or buying on digital right now? Yes, it's worth it. Yes, it's worth it. I give it a solid 9 out of 9. I could give it a 10 I could give it a 10 if they extended the Zig Massacre scene, because the Zig Massacre scene did feel like it was chopped off a little bit. If they would have extended that scene, changed Chucky's look a little bit, touched up on some of the CGI. There was only like one or two scenes I'll have touched up on, then I would give it a 10 out of 10. But I give it a 9 out of 9 for being just good as the original. It's just as good as the original while standing on its own 2 feet. So that was my revisiting of Child's Play 2019. And I will catch everyone in the next video.